Hey guys, this is Kaboose from Enemy's Valorant team. Today on Baseline, we're going to be looking at some common post-plant mistakes. So the site we're going to look at today is the A site on Haven. This is the site you're most commonly going to find yourself in a 5v5 post-plant. And when we're talking about post-plants, we mean, when you have the site, it's like a 3v3 plus, you have a retake's going to come in, they're not going to save, and it's up to you to defend the spike and let it blow up or take them all out. So we're going to be talking about nice positions, what you need to look out for, coming up with plans and all that stuff. So let's get to it. So the main thing to first start off is we need to have a plan for everything. So the first thing we're going to want to pay attention to is right as we're coming to plant the spike, you're going to quickly want to glance at the top of your screen. You'll see where my Phoenix is, kind of up here in this area. That yellow glowing around me means I have my ultimate ready. First thing you want to do as you're planting the spike is see what ultimates they have on the other team. Brimstone ults, Killjoy ults, Sova ults, stuff like this that can really disrupt your setup. You want to have a plan in the back of your mind beforehand. So say they have a Killjoy ult. We might need to get aggressive here, or we're going to need to completely give the site. You never want to be in these positions, playing the spike, and then all of a sudden they pop a Killjoy ult, and you're like, oh, now what? Like, your team split up. Some of y'all are running away from the ult, some of y'all are pushing it. You need to have these plans instantly. So that's why the first thing you do, even before the spike is planted, is pay attention to the ultimates and come up with a plan for them. Another important thing is coming up with a plan for your abilities. So, it's really agent dependent. This comes with a lot of experience in playing more post plants that you'll get it down more. But for this example, we're gonna look at Phoenix. So say we just planted the spike and we have a curveball left and hot hands. Really easy abilities to use. This hot hands will delay their push. They're either gonna have to take a lot of damage pushing through the Molotov, or they're just gonna wait it out. The curveball really easy to get kills with. So, if I was in a scenario like this, I'd come up with a plan that I'm gonna use this hot hands right as their abilities come in. If I use it too early, it's not really gonna accomplish anything. They're setting up their retake, they're holding the smokes, they're waiting the smokes out. It doesn't accomplish much, but if I play this really greedy, I wait till I see a dart come, an omen flash, and then I use the smolly. That's going to force them to be in a really weird spot because they kind of blew everything they have, and now they have to lose a lot of health in an unfavorable position to push through this, or they wait it out and they come through dry with no utility later. And then I have this curveball. So let's say most people will play behind this molly. They don't want to push this. So then I'm going to time this in my head. This is the plan for my curveball. Is right as this molly's fading, I have a pretty good idea they're going to be like behind it, about to start their retake. So then, a simple flash right after the molly gets you a couple free kills. And just like that, you came up with a plan for your abilities. You didn't just kind of throw them and hope to get lucky, and it netted you a round one with a pretty big 3K. So this is stuff to keep in mind. That's an example for Phoenix. The more defensive characters, your Cyphers, your Brimstones, your Sovas, it's really important that you play your abilities more passively. I'll go ahead and switch over to Sova real quick. For these characters, you don't want to really be in the action because you have utility that can delay the defuse. So you either want to be fighting as these aggressive characters or playing passively if you can play for time. So for the Sova, of course, you have your ultimate, will get them off the bomb. That's one full clear. Your recon dart will also make sure they're not on the bomb as a second full clear. And if you have double shock dart, that's a third full clear. So they can pretty much tap the spike 3 times, and you have abilities to make sure they're not sticking it. So they tap the spike, boom, shoot your dart. Okay, they tap the spike again, double shock dart, they're not on it. Third tap, now you're ulting them from really far back, they have no time. So really important if you're these passive characters, you really value your life, you value your utility. And same thing with Phoenix, you do not want to do this stuff too early. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see even in Radiant games, so I know for a fact that this will help anyone. These abilities really save them when the spike is tapped. You don't want to be using your dart before the spike's tapped because then you don't have it. It doesn't tell you anything. If you scan 3 people, you already know they're on the site. It's like kind of useless information, but if you save this utility for when the spike's tapped, if you're a Brimstone, you molly the bomb right on the tap, it's going to buy you the most time and it's going to give you the best chance to win the round. So really important to keep in mind what agent you're playing and how you should be using your utility off the situation. The last 2 important things to keep in track of, this is more for the people that are playing to defend the site, your duelists, your initiators. You want to be calling dart contact and contacts. This is something that you never really see in your ranked games. It's something we do in every single post plant in a team environment with our team. Somebody's calling dart contact, somebody's calling person contact, and I'll explain what that means. Dart contact is basically you're pre-aiming where their recon dart's going to land. So you have a feeling it's going to land here. This guy can also get it. Basically, it's anticipating where their dart's gonna land, and you wanna break it before it gets any information off, because if you're playing around here, nobody is looking for the dart, all of a sudden it gets a scan off, like you're in a really rough spot because 3 of your teammates just got revealed. Now they're using the utility exactly in these positions, and it makes it 10 times harder to hold the site. So very important that you look for the darts. You'll learn the spots more over time, as you play the game more, where Sovas like to throw their recon darts, but really important that you break those instantly before they get any information off. It'll help you tremendously, just that small thing. And holding player contact, really simple concept. Basically, one player says, I have contact lower. What that means is he's gonna be the first person to see them lower, and then when he starts shooting, that's your cue to help him. So for example, if I have a teammate here, he's like, oh, I have contact lower, then I know my job here is to swing right when he starts shooting. Because what that's gonna do is, when he's shooting, they're fighting a duel like this, which gives me very easy kills when I'm ready to play off him. So this is all coming up with plans, great communication, it's important. I have contact, I'll break the dart. You got your Sovas and stuff, playing for their utility that they have left over. It's just really this recipes for a great post plant. It's really important that you practice and try to get this as best you can, and you will win so many more ranked games if you just kind of master these fundamentals, kind of communicate with your team, who has contact if somebody's not saying it. Just take initiative in these scenarios because they're pretty high adrenaline, a lot of comms flying, so if you just calm these situations down, take control, you'll win so much more of them and eventually win games too. To give you all more examples of contact setups, dart setups for post-plant sites, we'll look at C because this is another site where the defenders might elect to go for a full 5v5 retake. Common dart spots, usually almost always on this wall. So this is kind of like the default job sky to look at this. Great spots to play contact for spawn is close up right here. This spot is strong because omens will usually flash this line, this log's default line. So you will actually dodge the flash if you have contact here. Same thing, this player can be the swing off the contact. So as soon as he shoots, this guy takes a swing, or the dart shooter takes a swing as well. Another strong contact position, maybe you don't have enough manpower to play these super aggressive positions. You can play something like this on top of this box. Really solid contact. Again, your whole job as a contact is to just get this first kill, and then just play your life. Let your team do the rest. So you get that kill, you hide, and this guy cleans up the rest. So yeah, and that's pretty much the C site. Pay attention for the dart here, get your contacts set up, get your swing set up, and of course, if you're a Sova, Brim, anything that's playing back, playing for time, make sure you have set shock darts, set Molotovs for these plant positions. For the default or the double stack position. Make sure you are gonna land your abilities because worst case scenario is you're in a post plant and you're missing your shock darts, and yeah, you lose a round because of it. So make sure you have this utility down, and yeah, you will have a lot more success here. If you play ranked games, it's probably a really common scenario, no matter what level you're at, that people aren't going to be communicating this stuff. I'll break dart, I'll take contact. So, when I find myself playing ranked games and putting myself in these situations, I kind of just tend to play off my teammates better. I feel like most people, will try to fight and you can play off them instead of, you fighting and trusting them to make the right play and to play off you. So, when I'm in these post plants, I'll normally set up to be the team player. I'll look for the dart. I'll set up, my utility to fight off my teammates. But yeah, when people aren't really calming much, just let them, take the first action and kind of play off them. Help them shoot their darts, peek off them, get the trades. And yeah, that's the best way you can really do it. I know in ranked, it's pretty tough to get this communication, especially at the lower ranks. So the best you can do is just try to take over the situation yourself, come up with the best plan you can to play off your teammates, and yeah, hope for the best. One last final tip for these people that are playing pretty defensive for the spike is calming your order of abilities. So say, you have a Sova and a Brimstone, you both have your ultimates, and you're playing for time. It's like a 2v4 situation, your team fell, still a winnable round, you have lots of abilities, but a disaster happens and he pops his Brim ult at the same time you pop your Sova ult. All of a sudden you use 2 abilities at the same time, 2 massive abilities to get them off the spike, 2 huge full clears, and it could cost you the round. Very easily fixable by just calming with your teammates, saying, I'll ult first, you use your molly first, stuff like that. Just calm this order of abilities and make sure you're not, using 2 clears on the bomb off a single tap. So yeah, really, really important tip, and yeah, So these have been some post-plant tips, some common mistakes specifically on Haven. You know, there's still a bunch more maps out there, so definitely let us know what you want to see in the future. I hope these tips helped y'all. Definitely let us know in the comments if it's been improving your game. I'm really confident that if you practice these fundamentals and really drill them into your brain, you'll see a lot of success in your climb. So thank y'all for watching. Smash that like and subscribe button, and we'll see y'all next time.